Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Inferno Man here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Alright, so we're going to be continuing our deep dive into Secrets of Strixhaven and hoping to find some awesome budget decks that we can put together and have a lot of fun with. But what are we going to be playing with today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into right now and show you exactly what we're going to be playing with today. Alright, so without further ado, join me today in the Brawl format as we take a break from 60 card for the week, as we'll be playing with a card that, honestly, it doesn't seem like it does much, but actually I really kind of like what this can do for budget decks out there. So welcome to Arnyn's Aristocrats. So that's going to be the name of the game for today. Mono Black Sacrifice, utilizing a brand new budget card, and hopefully it will be our new Queen of Sacrifice. So, for those of you that are new to this and how we go over this, it's mostly going to be breaking down this way. We're going to, of course, play as many matches as we can in the Brawl format. So it is, of course, only best of one. We'll be playing for the first half of the stream, the budget version of the deck to see how well it does. And if you do like what the deck does, and maybe you want to take it to the next level with some extra bonuses, want to put in some more money into it, more wild cards, we'll play an upgraded version of the deck, or at least what I perceive as a good upgrade version to the deck to show you how really far, how far you can actually really take the deck if you actually want to take it to the next level. But before we do that, let's cover the stats of the deck to explain to you again what's going on. So longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We got to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. Arnyn's Aristocrats here is, as I mentioned, a mono black deck. We're looking at an average mana curve about 2.3, and we'll be rocking a total of 31 creatures in the deck. We have 12 instants, 6 sorceries, 9 artifacts, 7 enchantments, and 38 lands. So, in essence, going over our commander really quick here, Arnyn Deathbloom Botanist here. She is a legendary creature, vampire druid. She's a 2/2 with Death Touch, which is great for blocking, and it says whenever a creature you control with a power or toughness of 1 or less dies, target opponent will lose 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Now, granted, of course, with the way that's said, the only awkward part is she doesn't seem like she might be very good in 4-player free-for-all commander, but in Brawl, that actually means she's an all-star because of most of the cards that can do these kinds of effects usually are only pinging for like 1 point, which again, that's not horrible, but 2 is definitely better than 1. So in this case, of course, we're going to try to see if we can make a whole deck around her and this cheap little ability she has. What's nice about it though is, unlike sometimes other decks we've seen where this effect can work, they usually only restrict you to only just like 1 ping per turn. But thankfully with her, she actually doesn't have a limit, so you can chain together a lot of stuff if you want to then just really kind of go off, and hopefully we're going to be able to pull that off today. So, in order to build this, of course, we're going to have, of course, focus on a lot of very unique, specific cards that want to make sure we can trigger off her ability as much as possible. So we do need as many cards as we can to either have a power or a toughness of 1 in order to get the max value. Thankfully, there are a lot of cheap effects we can use that take advantage of that. So, going over to the 1-drop slot here, we have Cauldron Familiar. So, yes, I know some of you are going to hate me for this, but we're going to be doing it. It is the Cauldron Familiar combo here. So, Cat Oven with that, of course, and wait, hold on one second. Did we not put in the actual, we didn't put it in the Witch's Oven. Well, that's awkward. Okay, hold on. We can do that real quick. I realize now I just built the deck and I actually did not put in the one and only card that we actually do need, which is, we have forgot to put in the Witch's Oven. Okay, so we're going to make a small tweak there. Considering how the deck is run with a 2.3 mana curve, and I know someone's going to probably hate me for this. Oh, we have 38 lands. Technically, I think we can get away with maybe trimming out 1 land. All right, so nobody hate me. Nobody hate me on that one. But we're going to do that. So, Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar. So now we have the actual tried and true combo there. Witch's Oven, of course, being sacrificing to create food. And kind of for the sacrifice creature's toughness is 4 or greater, we can create 2 foe tokens instead. So that with Cauldron Familiar helps us again with the loop here with Arnyn out. Theoretically, this means we can then do life gain and drain to do up to 3 on sacrifice, but then when the Cauldron Familiar comes back, that's actually 4. So we can actually ping our opponent for 4 with each of these loops. That's actually going to be a fast clock in Brawl. Okay, but otherwise, in order to make sure we can take care of this, we will definitely need to make sure we also have some good sacrifice for value cards, such as Annihilating Glare here. We have Bone Shards. We have Bloodchief's Thirst as our 1-drop spot removals. With the Glare and the Bone Shards, you can use these to then sacrifice creatures to destroy creatures and or planeswalkers, so that's pretty nice. Annihilating Glare, you can either sacrifice an artifact or a creature, which is nice. Bloodchief's Thirst doesn't require that. However, we can also kick it if we want to do a little bit more damage with it. We'll throw in, of course, Cling Dust, so this can help us exile cards from graveyards. This is mostly just for graveyard hate, and we can escape it if we need to for 5 other cards. Cult Conscript. So we do have a couple of small cards that can just hopefully recur beyond the Culture Familiar. Cult Conscript is one of those, which is nice. Although he enters tapped, for 2 mana, you can bring him back from the graveyard to the battlefield if a non-skeleton creature died under your control this turn. So that actually goes hand in hand with the Culture Familiar if we can get that going. Although it's going to cost you a rare in Arena if you do this in paper, Dark Ritual actually is only a common, so you can actually get it for much cheaper than at least Arena will force you to pay for it. We're going to use other cards now like Dream Beavers here, a Beaver Nightmare flying. I'm not sure how beavers fly, but okay. Any case here, when it enters, you can ping your opponent for 1 life, and you can also gain 1 life, and also you can scry on top of that. Not actually too bad for an uncommon card, so also another good option for us. Fairy Dream Thief here is another cheap little card here. It's a 1/1 flyer. It surveils, and that later on, if it's in the graveyard, you can exile it and then draw a card and make an opponent lose 1 life. So it just helps us again. Fatal Push, of course, has got to be an all-star in a deck like this. With all the sacrificing we do, we will trigger that Revolt ability easily to make sure we can destroy a creature with a mana value of 4 or less, no matter what. Fear of Lost Teeth here is a nightmare that says when it dies, you can ping an opponent for any 1 point of damage to any target, actually, and also you can gain 1 life off of that. So Arnyn actually can trigger off these pretty nicely. We have another skeleton here, Forsaken Miner. Although he can't block, and also he's a 2/2, we can use him at least for the recursion ability. So that's the reason why we're going to throw him in here, just again for sack value. Foulmire Knight, here's a 1/1 Death Toucher Zombie Knight. We want him ideally for the instant side of the adventure to draw a card and lose 1 life before we put him down as a 1/1 Death Toucher. Reaper's Talisman here is going to be just to make sure we can pump up one of our creatures to give it Death Touch, and of course we can give it the ability to make our opponent lose 2 life, and we can gain 2 life. So again, more life gain during shenanigans. Scavenger's Talent here. Anytime a creature we control dies, we make a food token. Although you can only do this once a turn, that's going to help us again, just help us stabilize with more food. Of course, we can use this with the Culture Familiar combo or whatever we need to. And ideally, however, if we can start doing this with the milling ability, this again goes hand in hand with another card we have, but we'll talk about that card in just a bit. Serrated Scorpion here, when this creature dies, just deal 2 damage to an opponent's life, and also we can gain 2 life. So another stack piece for us. That's great with Arnyn here. Vampire to the Dire Moon has Death Touch and Lifelink. It's a 1/1, but again, good for blocking. We have Village Rites here. We can sacrifice one of our creatures at instant speed for 1 black mana to then draw 2 cards to help us keep our hand full. I just mentioned the Witch's Oven, but remember, you don't have to always sacrifice a Cauldron Familiar to use the Witch's Oven. You can sacrifice whatever cards you need to just to get that value back. Blood Artist here. Again, anytime an opponent or any one of our creatures ends up dying, we can make an opponent lose 1 life, and we can gain 1 life. So this is actually, again, another all-star card with the way Arnyn works in our deck. Just in case if our opponent has anything that prevents us from destroying things outright, we're going to use some cards such as a Cursed Marauder here. I think we have a couple other cards that are similar to this, but I'll talk about in a bit. Basically, when it enters, each player has to sacrifice a non-token creature of their choice. So we can use this again just to make sure we can keep the board state under control. We have Bitter Triumph here, so we could we could discard a card or pay 3 life to destroy a creature Planeswalker at instant speed. Creeping Bloodsucker allows us to just ping our opponent for each upkeep. Oh, actually, that's the beginning of our upkeep. I don't know why I said each upkeep, but either way, ping your opponent for 1 point of damage, and we can gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Now, although we don't have any effects in the deck that can allow us to stack up that ability, just doing at least 1 point every turn is still pretty good. Deadly Dispute, of course, is going to be another all-star in the deck, along with Fanatical Offering. So both of these cards makes us sacrifice an artifact or a creature to then just draw 2 cards. We get a map token from the Offering, and from the Deadly Dispute, we get a treasure token. Feed the Swarm is again more spot removal to destroy either a creature or a Planeswalker. Infernal Grasp destroys creatures. We lose 2 life out of it, but that's not a big deal for us. Nowhere to Run here, again, allows us to then turn off an ability that our opponent may have to kind of... I'm sorry, wait, what am I saying? Sorry. My brain just kind of pooped out for a second there. What I was trying to say, though, is Nowhere to Run makes an opponent get one of their creatures -3/-3 until end of turn, and we can then start blowing up stuff by ignoring Hexproof and Ward so long as Nowhere to Run is out on the field. Priest of the Forgotten Gods here also goes really well with Arnyn here and the sacrificing ability. So we can sacrifice 2 other creatures, make an opponent lose 2 life, we gain 2 black mana, we draw a card, and we can force them to sacrifice a creature of their choice. So this is actually good for us as we start sacrificing some of our cheaper stuff here to make, again, Arnyn go off. We can then get a lot of good value from Priest of the Forgotten Gods. An absolute all card. These two are going to go really good together. Reassembling Skeleton, another skeleton that actually goes well with the deck. Skeleton Warrior, for 2 mana at instant speed, you can bring this back from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped, so it actually goes really well with also Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Reno and Rude from the Final Fantasy set. Human Assassin. He has Menace and it's a 2/1. When they deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You can sacrifice another creature or artifact, and if we do, we can play the exile card this turn, and we can use any mana of any type to cast it. So this can actually be great for us to steal cards, sacrifice stuff for value, as long as we can get some damage in with them. Tithing Blade's another edict effect for the deck here. When it enters, make an opponent sacrifice a creature of their choice. If you take the time to actually craft it with a creature, so we can sacrifice a creature, flip it into Consuming Sepulcher here to make an opponent lose life, and we can gain life at the beginning of our upkeep. So that's actually pretty nice for us. MTG Hillbilly, what's up? Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us today. You're just in the middle of us going over our deck explanation, but we'll be getting into the gameplay in just a little bit. Appreciate you being here, my man. How you been, by the way? Hopefully you've been doing well, and I'm pretty sure you've been pretty busy with with stuff in your personal life, and I know like also the streaming. Where was I at here? Oh yeah, that's right. Vengeful Blood Witch here. So this is a vampire warlock, so it kind of works the same way as the Blood Artist in a way. However, it's only going to be for our creatures, so this won't affect our opponent's creatures, but it still does really good damage by allowing us to ping our opponent for a ton. Vengeful Strangler here is a 2/1 human rogue. We can't block with it, but if it dies, it can then flip into an aura we can attach to a planeswalker or creature an opponent controls. Then they have to sacrifice that a non-land permanent, and then they will lose 1 life. So this can be a way to kind of get something off of the field if we need to in a pinch, but ideally it's just, again, just to kind of annoy our opponent, and again, just more value for the deck. Zulaport Cutthroat, another all-star that just does more pinging, just like, again, the Blood Witch, like the Blood Artist, and again, Arnyn herself. So again, another time another creature we control dies, we make an opponent lose 1 life, and we can gain 1 life. Consuming Corruption here can do X amount of damage to a creature or planeswalker, and we gain X life, where X is the number of swamps we control. We actually are a mono black deck, so this is the best time to actually use a card like this. Ornithopter Paradise, again, just for more just simple stuff. Since it actually has no power to it, it does trigger off with Arnyn here, but again, it's a great little mana rock for us to help just churn out our game plan faster. We want to make sure we can protect our Arnyn here, so we're going to use Swiftfoot Boots to attach to her to make sure we cover Hexproof and Haste. Although we don't really want to attack with her, it still provides good protection overall. MG Hillbilly, yeah, I'm doing good. How have you been doing? I've been doing great, by the way. Appreciate you asking, by the way. So again, it's just been, I will say, it has been a little bit exhausting trying to make sure I stay on top of my content. I don't know about you. I know you're mostly a streamer. I know you do a couple of videos here and there, but trying to stay to a schedule sometimes can be a little exhausting. I've been trying to finagle my way to make sure I can stay on top of it, but it feels like the past week and some I've been falling behind just for, again, just personal matters. Still, I will do what I can to at least help out my fire friends and make sure we can keep content going as consistently as possible. But I'll try to make sure also to take care of myself when I can. All right. Moving on from my little exhaustion rant there for a second, going into the 3-drop slot, we have Back for Seconds here. With the bargain ability, we can then bring back 2 creature cards from our graveyard to our hand. If we bargain, put a creature card with a mana value of 4 or less onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your hand, and take the other card into your hand. So it's actually kind of nice for us to recurse some of our stuff we sacrifice. To take more advantage of all the pinging effects, we have Bastion of Remembrance here. So again, creates for us a human soldier, but then we can then do some life gain and drain anytime a creature we control dies. Boggart Trawler actually is really good for this deck. Good synergy because it only has a toughness of 1, but ideally you can either use this as a land or use it as graveyard hate. Call of the Death Dweller here does the same thing as Back for Seconds, although at a cheaper rate because we can only get back 2 creature cards with a total mana value of 3 or less, but we can put a death counter on one of them and a menace counter on the other. Demon's Disciple here, when this creature enters, we make an opponent sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker of their choice. So again, does the same thing as the Accursed Marauder, but again, for 1 extra mana, we can also choose planeswalkers. Fire Nation Trebuchet here, so 3 mana for a wall with Defender and Reach. So good blocker here. When we attack, we can create a Ballistic Boulder, which is a 2/1 construct that goes flying. The moment we are done with that, we have to sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. But it goes really, really well with Arnyn here and her ability to then just kind of start pinging away at our opponent in the air. So pretty sweet little card. Fleshback Marauder does exactly the same thing as the Accursed Marauder here. So Twin Marauders doing the same thing of Edict effects. Grima Wormtongue here, Human Advisor, legendary creature from the Lord of the Rings set, by the way. Nice because this turns off our opponent's life gain ability. So that's also one of the few things that also hose this deck is if our opponent can gain more life than we can drain them, then the deck doesn't really feel fun. So this again can turn off that ability and make sure the fun can continue with our deck. Also, it has a sacrifice ability built into it. We can make an opponent lose 1 life. If the sacrifice creature is legendary, however, we can amass Orcs 2 to create an Orc army and hopefully keep going with our deck. Ophioi Mancer here is also one of my favorite cards for a sacrifice deck like this. Human Shaman. It creates a 1/1 Death Touch snake as long as we control no snakes. So nice for us at the beginning of each upkeep. So each upkeep we can just sacrifice one snake and keep them going for value. Oroku Saki Shredder's Rising. So from the Ninja Turtle set, a human ninja legendary creature, and it has sneak of 1. It's also a 3/1, so it goes perfect with the deck. Whenever Oroku Saki deals combat damage to a player, we can just simply draw a card and lose 1 life. So good little card draw engine for us, but ideally, if we have to sacrifice him for value, so be it, because again, it works perfectly well for the deck. MTG Hillbilly, you stream every day at 2 p.m. Central Control time. Oh, okay. Now, at least you have a good, consistent schedule. I can't say I can do that. I will say right now, and again, I don't want to rant too much and complain, but I kind of wish sometimes I can have a more consistent stream schedule like you do, only just because it's just tough because I have a job that, and again, like my big boy job, my real job, by the way, where it's never a consistent schedule. So I always feel like I kind of have to dance around every single week as to, when to stream. It has been working well for me on the weekends, but then there are some weekends and some weeks where just like, it doesn't work out this way. But on the plus side, at least we were able to go off today, so hopefully we can actually have some fun in a little bit. But at least I'm glad it works out for you, though. That's good, though. Okay, anyway, moving on. Silver Smoke Ghoul, 3 mana, 3/1, Zombie Vampire. Again, good stats for Arnyn here. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you gain 3 or more life in a turn, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So this is actually good for us, and it works perfectly well with, say, like the Cauldron Familiar combo. If we sacrifice food to gain 3 life, we can bring back the Ghoul. And also, again, you can sacrifice itself to draw a card. So really good card overall, an all-star for a deck like this. Withering Torment, at instant speed, destroy a creature or planeswalker. I'm sorry, wait, no, not planeswalker. Enchantment. So it's enchantment hate, but still goes good with the deck. 9 lives familiar, so we do have another cat we can sacrifice here. It enters with 8 revival counters on it. Anytime it dies, if it had a revival counter on it, bring it back to the battlefield with 1 fewer than the last time. So in other words, it's literally 9 lives. So nice for us. Every time I play this card, I've never had to go all the way down to less than 1 with it. So great value for us at any point in the game. Phyrexian Arena, it's cheap enough, and I would say it's a great budget option if you just want to simply just draw cards. You will lose life, but considering that Arnyn helps us gain life easily, Phyrexian Arena just feels like a nice, perfect card for a deck like this. Worn Power Stone is entering tapped, but it can add for us 2 colorless mana, so again, helps us with ramping. In the 4-drop slot, we have Grasping Shadows here, an enchantment that anytime we attack alone with 1 creature, it gains Death Touch and lifelink, so helps us again stabilize, and we can put Dread counters on the Shadows. Once it flips, after 3 or more Dread counters on it, it becomes a land, Shadow's Lair, and then we can start removing those Dread counters from it, then draw cards and make ourselves lose life. So again, just card draw engine for us, and good for us for stabilization. Looks like a fun deck? Well, I sure hope so, because I only really had a chance to play this deck maybe like twice. I won both games, but from what I feel, I think this should be a good one for us. So in case we need more sacking abilities, we do have a big upgrade here with us with Phantom Train. Although it doesn't trigger off with Arnyn here, think of this again as more of like your finisher for the deck. Phantom Train here is a trampling train. It's a vehicle that has a 4/4 on it, and you can sacrifice at instant speed any artifact or creature to put a +1/+1 counter on the vehicle, and it becomes a spirit artifact creature in addition to its other types. That's actually pretty cool, by the way. This is also one of my favorite cards from the Final Fantasy set. For those that don't know, I think this was which it's Final Fantasy 6, or is it no? Is it 6? I think it's 6. Wait, no, I'm dumb. It says right there. Any case, the cool thing about the Phantom Trainers, we can sacrifice everything quickly. So once this comes out and after a turn cycle passes, if the coast is clear, we can use this to smash our way in with a really, really big train. So it's actually a pretty fun option for us to finish out the game. Pitiless Plunderer here. Whenever another creature we control dies, recreate a treasure token for ourselves. So again, with pseudo ramp, also goes well with the Phantom Train, goes great with just everything we have, and it's a 1/4, so it does trigger off with Arnyn herself. Snuff Out here, also another sweet little card that was added in a while ago from the game. So you can either pay 4 mana, which you usually don't want to. Instead, you can pay 4 life and then cast a free removal spell to destroy a non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. However, against some decks, this can also be maybe a do-nothing card. But either way, free spell is free spell, so I'll take it. Felda Propane, 1 more spot removal card for us in the deck. It's going to be allowing us to destroy a creature planeswalker for 4 mana, or if nothing else, use it as a land. Hedron Archive is just a more expensive version of Worn Power Stone, but it does enter untapped, and you can sacrifice it later on to draw 2 cards. And again, we do have 2 more big finishers for the deck. It's going to be Grave Merchant of Asphodel, i.e. Gary, from the Theros plane. When he enters, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. So in other words, every black pip you see on every one of our cards here that is a permanent will then trigger off and make Grave Merchant actually do a lot more damage. So the life gain and drain in some matchups can be devastating and hopefully can sometimes turn the tide to get us a victory. And then finally, Sir Conrad the Grim. I actually built a deck around him on ultra budget over a year ago. So if you actually are interested in trying to play a deck around him, be sure to check him out. He's actually a pretty cool card. But for today, he will be in the 99, and it works perfectly well as for what we're trying to do still. So with Sir Conrad the Grim here, Human Knight 5/4. Whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into the graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature leaves the graveyard, Sir Conrad will deal 1 point of damage to each opponent, and his final ability allows you to mill a card. So with him, he can be hilarious if we manage to get a ton of creatures into the yard, whether we're milling, whether creatures get sacrificed. He will slowly ping away at our opponent. And if there is one also sweet combo you can do with him, which we'll talk about in a second here, if you can dump everything out from your library into your graveyard, even if you exile everything, that's a lot of pings, and you should be able to close out the game instantly on the spot with a 2-card combo. But we'll talk about that in a second. Our final card on the top end here is going to be Derelict Addict / Widow's Walk. This is a room enchantment. When you unlock one side, you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. With the other side, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, gets an extra +1/+0 pump and gains Death Touch until end of turn. Granted, this may throw off a little bit of our game plan with some cards because this will pump up a creature, so that means Arnyn won't trigger off, so be aware of that. But with select cards we have, that Death Touch ability could mean the difference between a victory and a defeat. Death by Vulture, good afternoon. Hope all is well. Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. I am doing well. We're just actually finishing up right now our deck tech explanation, and we're about to play some games in just a moment. So hang in there, everyone. We'll get to the gameplay in just like another minute. I just want to go over really quick, of course, your budget plan for the land package. Because we're mono black, so that's actually good for us. 28 swamps, nice and easy. We have foul roads here. You honestly don't need this per se, but again, it creates for us a pilot token, and it's a 1/1. Even though we don't have any vehicles in the deck, this can still be helpful if you just need like a token out to trigger off Arnyn. So that's why we threw it into the deck as kind of like an auto include. Bojuka Bog goes really well with Sir Conrad if this is timed correctly. Although the odds of getting this 2-card combo to work perfectly are low, it is absolutely hilarious if you actually manage to pull it off. Granted, of course, you might would want to rebuild the deck to make it a mill deck, but again, that's not the point of today's video. Again, one more time, we actually did create a deck that focuses on this game plan in another video previous that we did almost a year ago. So check that out if you're curious about that kind of combo. Otherwise, going back to the rest of the package here is going to be Vault of Whispers and Artifact Land. So good for value for us for certain things that we sacrifice artifacts for. We have a Witch's Cottage. Once we have enough swamps out, this can bring back a creature card from our graveyard back to the top of our library. We have Arid Archway to bounce back things to then create 2 mana for us. But again, while you want to bounce certain things back, this can actually be good for recursion for maybe bouncing back, say, your Bojuka Bog, or maybe you want to bounce back Witch's Cottage, or maybe you can even bounce back even some of your flip lands like Bog or Trawler. If you played it as the Bog, you can then bring it back and make it reusable as a creature or Fel the Profane. So actually it's pretty good value for us at any point in the game. For a non-basic land hit, we're going to throw in Demolition Field. We have Field of Ruin and Volatile Fault because we have plenty of lands to make this work. And finally, our last land is going to be the Gold Saucer. This is a town that you can use for generic mana, but ideally you want to start flipping it to create treasure tokens, which we can sacrifice for, again, more ramping in the deck. And that is Arnyn Aristocrats for the Brawl format. Whew! Once again, everyone, thanks again for hanging in there, for hearing me out for the whole explanation of the deck. But now, of course, let's get on to the fun part. Let's play, of course, our Aristocrat deck in the Brawl format. And let's see how well our new Queen of Sacrifice can do. Whew, okay. I probably should drink a little bit of water after going that whole explanation like almost non-stop. But okay, it looks like our opponent's going to get ready to fire up in just a second. All right. There we go. Oh, okay. Much better. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead. Let's get this going. All right. So we've got right now our 2 swamps, Clean the Dust, which is good. Reaper's Talisman, Vengeful Strangler. Okay. Not too many creatures in hand, but that's okay. Arnyn, thankfully, is a 3-drop, so she doesn't take too long to get down. Let's put down the Reaper's Talisman first. Opponent is playing with Krang. We actually didn't play a single Krang deck in mono blue, but we do actually build a Krang deck a while ago. So if you're curious about how that one works, check that out. It's actually a pretty cool little deck. Okay. Let's see. Islands. All right. Opponent, what else you got in hand? So I'm pretty sure they're going to try to dump their hand. They're going to do some affinity shenanigans. And then Krang, of course, will come in to refuel. All right. If they have Shroud, does that mean the Strangler doesn't go off? I guess I'll have to find that out in a bit. Let's see. We'll bring in Arnyn now. They're mono blue, so mostly it's going to be counter spells and bounce effects, so we won't worry too much about certain things just yet. Okay. Ornithopter Paradise. All right, that's fine. Chris Antogo. Oi, oi, what is this now? In my best British aristocrat voice. Hilarious. How you doing today, my fire friend? Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Appreciate you being here. We're just getting started with the first game of the day. Okay, Sword of Vengeance. Okay, looks like our opponent's going with Equipment Krang here. That's actually kind of an interesting build. Okay. Junk Driver still trying to ping us away for little points of damage here and there. That's cute. Play the Demolition Field. Let's see. How do we want to do this? I don't think I would need to worry about them gaining life. Let's see. Equip 2. We'll play on Widow's Walk. We will swing... Actually, we'll swing them both. Get more damage in for now. That's mostly what we want to care about. We can worry about swinging with singular creatures in just a little bit. Scrap Trawler. All right. Grima Wormtongue. Okay. Witness Protection. All right. Okay. Opponents. Getting down Krang. Drawing a new hand. Okay. It's fine. They're moving around their Lightning Greaves for free. Down to 14. Ugh. That was a pretty heavy hit for us. But that's fine. Dream Beavers. That's cute. Let's see. Phantom Train. Alright, so Train will be coming back in just a little bit here. So we can sacrifice the Strangler and the legitimate business person. So weird how that card works. But okay, Foundry Inspector. Okay, cheapening their costs. I wish we had another Death Toucher, but okay, we can make this work. Okay, so game plan right now. We just need to keep blocking Krang for now, which is doable. Opponents. All right. Lightning Greaves goes back onto the Trawler. Do they swing? Maybe. Chris Antogo. I spent the better part of 2 days trying to build a Golos deck to get it to work. No luck yet? Oh. Well, I'm sure you can get something to work. Golos is absolutely broken. So, I mean, I feel like anything you put together with it works well. Ooh, okay. Opponent is swinging, trying to get that first strike damage. All right, so in this case, we'll do it this way. Vengeful Strangler dies. We attach it to... What do we attach it to? Foundry Inspector. Okay. That turns on that. We sacrifice legitimate business person. Put Arnyn back. We will lose the train, but Krang at least goes away for now. And also we could sponge the hit. Okay. That's fine. Down to 6. Okay. Is there a way out of this? Or are we doomed? Being loaded into Hell Queue doesn't help. Oh. Yeah, I've realized that Golos also sadly puts you kind of like a never-ending loop of just absolutely strong creatures that just give you, like, nothing to play against. You end up being forced to, like, fight a bunch of people that end up being, honestly, unfun. Okay. Are we gone? Because Krang, with all that, kind of feels a little bad. Alright. Dang, we didn't get any of our removal. Alright, well... Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll just concede this. I realize with the first strike and the trample on Krang, we just did not stand a chance to win there. But it's okay. It's the first game, everyone. Always the first game is not always the one I take away as, like, the absolute. So let's go ahead, let's shake that off. No big deal. Just jump right back into the queue. So, question for everyone now. now that we've had a little bit of time to actually play with Strixhaven quite a bit, what has been your experience with the cards so far? Have you been enjoying the set? Do you like any of the interactions? Are there any standout cards that you're just like, I've been happy to play with this? Or is there anything that you're just like not vibing with? Things that you thought were going to be good and ended up not being very good at all? Let me know in the comments area. I'd love to hear about your experience so far with the set. Okay, so we're going to keep this hand because we got in our hand the Forsaken Miner, Ornithopter, Fire Nation Trebuchet. So we got some good ramp here. But also the good part about also committing crimes with Forsaken Miner is Arnyn does target. So that actually means Forsaken Miner can come back very, very easily in our deck. Okay, let's see. We'll keep the Feed the Swarm back for a bit. For now, let's just get in some early damage. Okay. Fire Nation Trebuchet will be excellent once we can get that down. Ooh, Allosaurus Shepherd. Okay. Deathrite Shaman. Okay. Opponent is... got the Elf Plan here with Witherbloom. We'll see if we can get that off the field soon. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay. Fire Nation Trebuchet first. So we can at least block. Swing here. Make a token. Down to 19. Lose the construct for a moment, but that's okay. We actually now have our cute little combo set to go here. Okay, they exile the graveyard, but does no value, so that's good. I will, again, get around to doing the dragons eventually over the next couple weeks, everyone, so don't worry. We do have plans, at least for some of the dragons that I know will be amazing for us. Finale of Devastation for 1? What are they grabbing? Oh, okay, Land of War Elves. Huh, wow. All right, well, I guess if you're strapped for mana, gotta do what you gotta do. All right, in that case here, Feed the Swarm. So, this actually would be hilarious, but we'll just do it for Birds of Paradise. There we go. We swing with the Miner, create our token. There we go. Get the damage in. We lose it. Make our opponent drain some more. Down to 13. We're up to 26. All right. We're looking pretty good now. So our next course of action. Okay, Witherbloom coming down. That's cute, by the way. Vengeful Strangler, Demolition Field. So Reaper's Talisman. On top of the Forsaken Miner. We will play Vengeful Strangler. All right, we ran out our whole hand. Just swinging with the Miner. Get that life gain drain going. And the token goes off. I'm guessing our opponent will block the token. They do. Still triggers off everything, so this is hilarious. Drain him out. All right. We're looking pretty good here. Our little engine is working. Chris and Togo, the Silver Quill standard deck seems interesting, but I haven't been able to build it yet. Okay. Got totally wrecked by Raul Zarek and Brawl yesterday. They ultimated and flipped for 4 extra turns. Wow. That is scary. Okay, wow. I didn't think that was actually going to be possible, but that sounds crazy, by the way. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to do this? We will add it now, the talisman here. Okay. So, if our Strangler goes, this actually could be the best solution. But it looks like our opponent is now at a point where they have no choice. Opponent, what will you do? Okay, they do block. Okay. All right. Unless our opponent has life gain, which means they have to do it now. Okay, so they are going to eat their own creature. They survive. All right. Drain, drain, drain. And then we put it on top of Witherbloom himself. Down to 3. From here, put it on Forsaken Miner. And pass the turn. All right. Wow, we were close. Deathrite Shaman going bye-bye did help out a ton. They go down to 2 for Polluted Delta. Okay. Got their swamp. They have plenty of mana. But do they have an answer? What do you do, opponents? Ooh, Titan of Industry. That could blow away the Strangling Grasp if they want to. They can make tokens, too. They can blow away they can blow away the Trebuchet. No, not the Trebuchet. So they go up to... Well, they stay at 5. Okay. Does their opponent swing? I mean, if they swing, that's also kind of bad, too. They lose a life. Unless they sacrifice. Okay. Down to 4. Okay, there we go. So that's what we want out of the way. We will pay the 3 life. Titan of Industry going bye-bye. There we go. Life gain and drain. Down to 2. Opponents. That's it. We win automatically, whether they block or not. We take down the Elder Dragon. Get our pings off. Wait, hold on. We didn't get the pings? Oh, okay, wait. I forgot Forsaken Miner is a 2/2. Well, I feel absolutely silly right now. Okay. It's okay. No problem, everyone. Put it all in there. Wow. I guess I got a little ahead of myself there. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. Grab Abomination. Making us exile things here. Okay. So they stole our land, but thankfully, I mean, our land can't be cast, so that's, I guess, okay. Cast spell from among the exile cards this way. Bitter Triumph. I mean, if they want to blow that up, so be it. We can just recast her, so that's not a big deal. Okay. Opponents. Tithing Blade. Okay, that's cute. Tithing Blade. Make our opponents lose a card. Nice. And then from here... There you go. A simple little Ornithopter Paradise actually got us the win there, everyone. All right. Nice. First win of the day, everyone. Okay. Well, that was a little unexpected there, but hey, it worked. I will take it. I will take it. All right. So first win of the day. So there we go. Let's keep the good times rolling. Let's keep the good times rolling. Okay. So with that... So far, the deck definitely is doing its thing. Yeah, Crab Abomination is a bit of a pain. I haven't actually had a chance to play with the card because I was trying to see if I could put together a... And I know I'm always the... I always like to think of myself as one of the aficionados when it comes to jank decks, but I want to make a crab deck literally around that and milling. I don't know if it will work, though, with Dimir Crabs, but we've done crab decks in the past. I don't know if we could try, but maybe we'll give it another shot down the line. But until then, okay, opponent is playing a Zika, so ugh. This is either going to be absolutely a blowout in our favor, or it's going to be absolutely miserable. What will we do? We'll find out here soon enough. Okay, we got a lot of 3 and 4 drops, so we're going to be a bit slow, but the Worn Power Stone alone at least should help us speed up the clock. Just a little bit. But at least that time the Crab Abomination didn't really hose us, because we only held up like a land in hand, so that didn't really do anything against us. So I guess that was good. Okay. Thriving Health. Explorations, they can put more lands down. Okay. Starting town. Okay, that's cute. Putting down that. Vengeful Blood Witch. So more pinging is going to be happening soon, hopefully. Opponent, what you got? Blue. All right, and Plains. Arcane Signet. Okay. So Azika is poised to come in. I'm pretty sure they're going to just keep it on the Prismatic Bridge side, so that'll be something to worry about. Okay. Until then, though, I guess we'll bring down Arnyn now. Not much else value for now. We just need to slowly start pumping ourselves up here. Okay. 2 more cards to hand about it. Do they bring in... Oh, Toxic Deluge. All right. Well, back to the command zone. But that does trigger off things quite a bit here. And because Arnyn did get weakened, that's actually a lot of drain against our opponent there. So I guess that worked out. Teamer Ascendancy. Ooh. Okay. Swamp. I guess we will play the Power Stone now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Prismatic Bridge version. No surprise. Okay, so things are going to get a little dicey here in a bit, but we will try to see if we can stay afloat. Arnyn comes in. He will fell Mire. Bring in Blood Artist. Okay. Here come the cards. Okay, they draw another card. Okay. So, at this point, if we don't have the removal, we're going to get blown out here fast. Let's see what our opponent does play. Oh, they got the Sheoldred's Edict. Okay, I guess that means Blood Artist goes bye-bye. That's a shame. But we do ping off our opponent a bit here. They go to 13. We're at 31. But thankfully, we do have a Demon's Disciple, so we have a little bit of wiggle room here. Demon's Disciple. Make our opponent sacrifice. Sacrifice the Demon's Disciple itself. Okay, nice. Still draining. Silver Smoke Ghoul. We can swing here. And pass. Prismatic Brick. Okay, Avacyn. Okay. Well, their stuff is all now indestructible, which is absolutely wonderful. But that doesn't stop them from getting drained out. So we do have actually options. Elish. Oh. Alright, Elishnorn. That actually might stop us a bit. Draw another card. Okay, Elishnorn. Ugh. I think this might also be game here. Elishnorn alone stops our whole game plan. Like, literally, stopping ETBs is... Ugh, that's not what we want to see. And on top of that, she's indestructible anyway thanks to Avacyn, so... Yeah, that might be game. Literally, our only option here is just to life gain and drain. That's all we can do. Clear down. Because our opponent is just being miserable. Affinity for Anime. Hello, Inferno. How are you going? Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us. You're in the middle of us trying to fight one of the most miserable cards to fight against, which is Azeka. Because with her ability, there's no way around it, though. Like, they've literally locked us out. I wanted to hopefully get by with Grey Merchant, but now that can't be triggered. Swiftfoot Boots, doesn't matter. They're indestructible. Ah! Oh, boy. Ah! Oh, jeez. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Just, frustrates me. Just Azeka, everyone. Azeka. Every time. It's never a fair deck when you play Azeka. You're playing something that's just trying to do horrible things. Okay. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out. We're not going to be mad. It's okay. You can't win them all. That's okay. We'll shake that off. We're just going to move on to the next game. So aside from getting locked out there, otherwise been doing great. How you've been so far, Affinity for Anime? Chrisanne, missed a bit of the beginning. Does this deck have the regular Ornithopter for 0 mana and a Changeling Outcast? Oh, that's right. We've got Changeling Outcast. That's actually free damage at times. It does not. But most of the deck is focused around just either sacrifice abilities, like you can see here, like Fleshback Marauder. We have ways of utilizing creatures that have unique toughness and power dynamics to make sure we can always trigger off with Arnyn as much as possible. And the rest of it is just focused on just a lot of things regarding just trying to make sure we can just keep pinging our opponent in any way, shape, or form, utilizing her ability. A good question on that, Kristen Togo. You need an XX for 8. Yeah, we do. But we don't have it in the budget deck because, again, budget decks mean we do have to be a little bit more restrictive. That's not a bad thing, though. I mean, that's the whole reason why I like to do these decks. It's more fun for me to build decks with restrictions because I get more enjoyment out of it. There's unique things you can definitely do that you don't always do because, I don't know, it's kind of boring to always play like, okay, let's play a mono blue deck. All right. We could throw in, if you want to, the usual stuff, you know, like free mana rocks, or you can just play Ristic Study. And again, that gets kind of boring after a while. So for me, that's why I have more enjoyment out of this kind of stuff. It's a lot more fun. All right, so nowhere to run. All right. And Oros goes bye-bye. A little point of damage there, that's fine. We're playing with High Perfect Morcant. So in other words, Elf Mommy is coming out to play. We did play against with her a while ago. Ironically, her ability actually works really well with our deck. Awkwardly enough.
Okay, Arnyn coming in. I guess we'll just get this for no real value, but that's okay. Okay. Alright, Ornithopter Paradise can come in. Here comes High Perfect Morcant, so Elf Mommy doing her thing. I guess we'll put one on Arnyn here. So she does trigger now off her own self, which is hilarious. Let's see, Flashback Marauder, which is nice here, by the way. I'm sorry, opponents. Mommy's got to go bye-bye for now. Too bad. Okay, get that drain in. Swing. Down to 18. Okay, not too bad right now. Azeka is what I thought my Golos deck would be. I mean, it can be if you really want it to. Okay, Infernal Grass. They lose 2 there. Put that back over here. But she triggers off her own self, which is nice. Murder. Oh, okay. Alright, opponent's just straight up just trying to blow us away here. While it is annoying, it's fine. We'll still make do with what we have. Zulaport Cutthroat. Ornithopter Paradise. Okay, nice. So we're still trying to keep the life gain and drain shenanigans. Okay. Zulaport dies. They can't have that much more removal, right? Right? Surely you're out of removal by now, opponents. Okay, Les Alana Dignitary. Okay. They beheld an elf. Okay, so... Grima Wormtongue. So, no more of your shenanigans, opponents. Blood Chief's Thirst. Say goodbye to your elf. No damage, no attacks. But at least now we can turn off their life gain for the time being. Okay. Too bad, opponents. Your life gain is turned off. Okay, so for now, how do we do this here? I guess we don't want that to keep going off, so we're just going to have to pay full price. Want to, but okay, it is what it is. Grima can get in some damage, down to 13. Okay, I think now might be the time to get them in the Phyrexian arena. Okay, Morcant doing her thing. We'll put a counter there, but at least we can turn off the life gain, which is the best thing we can do for this game. Okay, Scavenger's out. That's cute. Let's get out... Actually, hold on. In case they start putting out more creatures. No attacks yet. Affinity for anime. I need to add Arnyn to my Sephiroth deck and my Elias Core decks. She is absolutely a banger in all those other variations of decks. Okay, so Arnyn again. Well, we turn off the life gain, which is good. So our opponent is out of cards. That's good. This hopefully now will buy us the time we need to start getting all of our value back. I hope. Opponents. Swinging. Damage. Okay, so they do tap here. Let's see. I guess we'll have to let that go. Alright, so we lose 2 creatures there. We have to take action again. That's more draining shenanigans. But at least the Wormtongue survives. That's what we need to live. Down to 11, down to 9. We're up to 36. Okay, good. Got another swamp. So from here, Phyrexian Arena. Okay. Scavenger's Talent. So at least now we have life gain for the bit. Okay. Just poke at our opponent here. They go down to 8. We stay at 36. Okay, deck. We really need to start needing lands. Otherwise, our opponent is going to start coming back. And Grima's not going to survive for much longer at this point. They can do some swings. We go back down to 23. Okay. We draw a card. Okay, good. We did get a land. That's good. And another land. That's also good. So, let's see. Can't do anything yet. So, I guess we'll just go with Scavenger's Talent here doing its thing. Level 3. Okay. So, from here... Can't attack. Okay. Is there anything we want back? Okay. Decline for now. Ugh, okay. I need like another cheap piece on the field to make this work. Okay. Oh. They got the paradigm. Okay. Well, now we're in deep trouble here. So that's what? How much now? 13, 19. Oh, this is lethal. Okay. All right. I guess I don't have a choice here. We have to take that. Go down to 5. Dang, we were so close to going off there. Make our food. Draw our card. Okay, so let's see. Still hit them for 4. That's not enough, though. Alright, so... Fanatical Offering. Sacrifice the food. Water Pump for 2. Is there anything in our deck that could actually get us out of this mess? Anything at all. Swimming Aberration only does 4 because we don't have enough swamps. And... I can play a Foulmire Knight. Not for much value. Okay. And... Okay. Yeah. Alright. Dang it. No, that's just not enough. Okay. Okay. I guess that's it. I kept thinking, like, is there any possible way we can get a win here? I don't think there was, so I'll just take my L. That's a shame. But it's okay. Finny Fernando, you can't have any more removal. Last week, I played a game of Arena Brawl where I drew all my removal and nothing else. And you lost? Oh, that's devastating, by the way. But I know that... Ooh, I know that feels so much. Sometimes when your deck's like, wait, how am I getting 10 lands over the next, like, 7 cards, even though my deck only has, like, 20 lands? Or when I'm playing Brawl, it's like, wait, where's all my lands? I have, like, 41 lands in this landfall deck, and you're telling me I can't get a single land? I swear, sometimes the shuffler. Kristen Togo? Yeah, I played a game where none of my removal showed up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't you just hate that, guys? But okay. It's okay. We will shake it all off, and we're going to try again here. Ooh, okay, nice. We got the Dark Ritual. So this is actually kind of cute here. So we can do this. Dark Ritual immediately. Arnyn comes in already. All right. Turn 1 Arnyn, everyone. Got you, opponent. Okay. But in all seriousness, though, I guess now we can use this turn as our way to kind of speed up the clock. Bounce that back. Cold Conscript coming in. It's capped, but that's okay. No big deal for us. Okay. So now we have everything set. We just need to actually get our actual cards going here. Okay. Lanes. Summon Fenrir. Okay. That's cute, by the way. Even if I blow it up now... Well... We'll do it this way. Okay, we got a Bone Shards also. So now we have plenty of mana. Swing with the Conscript. Do they block? No matter what, we will get the damage in, so this is not a big deal for us. Okay, that's cute. Down to 17. I will just wait it out. It'll go away eventually, so I'm not worried about it. I would just rather save our removal for the real stuff. Ooh, Withering Torment. Okay. That can't stick. Okay, we take 2, but that's not a huge deal for us. But at least the Shrine's gone. Okay. No blocks. Down to 20. Okay. Ooh, Oroku Saki. That's actually a pretty good run for us. Okay, Oroku Saki. Bouncing back the Conscript. Down to 12. Okay, Deadly Dispute. Let's see here. Conscript. Coming in. Okay. Card goes bye-bye. Do they bring in Heibai? If they bring in Heibai, I know they can just get any shrine. And I'm aware that Withering Torment was just used. But I'm hoping maybe we can finish this off before they get to do anything. We'll see. It is a bit of a risk for them. Okay, they got the Sanctum instead. Okay. Well, let's see here. I'll do this. Okay. Alright, we will sacrifice Oroku Saki. Drain our opponent for 3. Draw 2. We will... Oh, there we go. Okay, well, I guess our opponent made that easy for us. Okay, so there we go. Nice. Not a fancy super one, but we got enough aggro in where we pressured our opponent to just take the L. So I'll take that. A win is a win. Okay. Looking at right now, wow. Stream's actually moving a little faster than I thought today. So, you know what? Let's actually do maybe one more on the budget, and then we'll take the next level here. We'll upgrade the deck and see how much more stronger we can make our new Queen of Sacrifice here. She does feel pretty good, though. She's not anything super fancy, but I like what she does. Of course, granted, yes, I am a sucker for I'm a sucker for life gain and drain decks. I love sacrificing for value. I'm a big fan of creature decks. Anything like that, that's what I enjoy. Okay. The Dark Ritual also here on turn 1. Oh, man. This is so nice, though. Okay. Dark Ritual. Arnyn, turn 1. Nice. All right, we're ahead of the game. Quandrix the Proof. Okay. The other Elder Dragon with Cascade. We'll see if that is something to worry about. Put in our Foul Road. Dream Beavers. They do the life gain and drain. Ooh, nice. We do have a swamp on top. That's perfect. Down to 22. Snuff Out is nice here because we already have a swamp, so we can play this for free if we really want to. Oh, I'm sorry, opponent. I'm snuffing that out now. Too bad, opponents. Too bad. All right, so Priest of the Forgotten Gods, but we're also going to throw out first Vengeful Strangler. Getting our damage, down to 19. Okay. Slowing down our opponent is key here. Great Merchant, that's good too. Let's see here. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Let us get out... Actually, we'll swing here. Okay. Opponent can't block, so that's good. Down to 16. Okay. We are slowly getting there. So next turn, we should be able to get out Grey Merchant to do another big level of drain. We could sacrifice 2 of these cards for extra value. So this should be good. Moti. Okay. Cascading. What do they get for free? Oral Procession. Okay. Not the biggest hit, but that's annoying to get back that Lotus Cobra. So let's see. We will swing with these 2 and see what our opponent does. Do they block? They do not. Okay. Free damage. Nice. Submit. Sacrifice them. Drain, drain, drain. And then from here on a Moti. Down to 7. Thank you, opponents. And then from here, Grey Merchant for 4 more. Down to 3 opponents. Oh, man, we're so close. Ooh, we're so close here. Nice. That was a great turn, by the way. Okay, Kristen Togo. She would have been great for my Amalia deck if she was 2 mana. Could probably still use her if I drop Loris. Ooh. I think that'd be one of those where... Oh, by the way, we won, by the way. Yay! Nice. Okay. Another clean, easy win for us there. That's a good one. Amalia with Arnyn would be nice, but I understand that having... I know some people don't want to hear it, but yes, having Loris is probably the stronger option. I mean, knowing that you have that at any time in your... that you could pull into your hand for however you built the deck, man, that's kind of tough to drop. So I don't know. I would say play around with it. I'm sure your deck works great even without Loris, but Loris is just so good. Such a powerful card. You honestly could not do it. Nubiously Foolish. Good evening, my fire friend. Hello, my fire friend. From me, good afternoon. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. Chris Antogo. Quandrix is another deck I might look into where I've got the wild cards again. Nice. Meanwhile, I'm trying to be careful because I really want to spend more mythics, but man, the mystical archives made me drain all of my mythic cards. Like for the last week when I had to build those 2 timeless decks, I realized, oh man, I just burned up all of my mythic cards for Force of Wills, the Emeritus that I realized probably was a mistake to make, but oh well, it is what it is. In any case, so far the deck feels pretty good on a budget, but what if we take the time to upgrade the deck with Arnyn and take her to the next level. So even though Arnyn herself is not a rare in any way, she could definitely get some much needed power boosts with how our deck's going to work now. So with this version of the deck, we're really going to go all in on making a lot more value from our sacrifices and also get a ton back in return. So for the upgrades for this version of the deck, if you really want to spend a bit more, we have cards like Culling the Weak, which also came to us from the Strixhaven Mystical Archives. This is an amazing card, by the way. You have to sacrifice a creature, but you add 4 black mana. That is a really massive quick boost of power with Dark Ritual. That's great. You're definitely going to want that. We have a couple more stronger skeletons now. So we have Gutter Bones here. It enters tapped. You can bring it back from the graveyard to your hand only if an opponent lost life in a turn. But this actually goes perfectly with Arnyn here and her ability. So you can repeat that over and over again. Other upgrades we're going to throw into the deck. Well, of course, we got to throw in Orcish Bowmasters. This is a really absolutely banger of a card. I mean, what else do I need to say? It's good. It's just so good. So from there, we're going to throw in, of course, some more ways we can just make more tokens, go wide with cards like Bitter Blossom here. This will help us again on every turn. We lose life, but that's okay because the Fairy Rogues are 1/1s, so that can help us go wide. It can be sack fodder, whatever we need it to be. For more card draw, we throw in Dark Confidant. Our mana creep is not huge, so Dark Confidant usually shouldn't hurt us too much. Usually will ping us for about 2 or 3 points every turn, but we get that back quickly with Arnyn and her abilities, so that's actually a good card for us. Other cards that are going to help us, again, pop off here. We're going to throw in Skyclave Shade. This has Landfall. Whenever a land we control enters, if this card's in the graveyard, we can recast it immediately. So again, another way we can start using it for more sack fodder. We're going to throw in, of course, the Terminus of Return, i.e. the Mind Stone. So from Spider-Man here, Indestructible Mana Rock adds for us the black. If you do manage to flip it for 7 mana, which is a lot in this deck, you can actually then flip this and then start bringing cards back from the graveyard to the battlefield no matter what. So this is actually a really awesome card for us if you can afford it. Other upgrades, we're going to throw in Bitterbloom Bearer. So this is a 1/1 flash flyer, just like the Bitter Blossom. Just creates for us more tokens that we can use to then just get more value out of. We'll throw now also Bloodghast here. He can't block, but with Landfall, you can keep bringing him back from the graveyard to the battlefield. We don't have a lot of lands in the deck, but again, it provides for us good value at any point in the game. Jet Medallion here makes all of our black spells cost 1 less to cast, so very, very powerful ability for our deck, so definitely going to take advantage of that. We'll throw in, of course, for more upgrades for the deck. We have, hold on one second, where's our card at? Oh, we have Morbid Opportunist. Technically, this is actually craftable. You don't need to spend a mythic on it. I don't know why Arena made it seem like it was a mythic, but it's actually not a mythic. It's an uncommon, so be aware of that if you craft it. But anyway, whenever one or more creatures dies, we can simply just draw a card. We can only do this once a turn, but again, it's a great card draw for our deck. Of course, we had to throw in Sephiroth himself. So Sephiroth, absolutely perfect for the deck. Some of you may argue that Sephiroth might actually be better in the command spot, so I will leave that one up to your interpretation. Yes, you could put him in, but what fun would it be if we did try at least something new? So Sephiroth, again, he can be an option for you if you want to make the deck more powerful, or if you just want to put him into the 99. Still great for the deck overall with his abilities, and if you can flip him, he does even more, so great value overall for the deck. We'll throw in Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, one of my actual favorite cards here. With his ability here, anytime we gain life, we can make an opponent lose life. So this is a hilarious way to hose out opponents. So by every point of life we can gain with Arnyn here, that's an additional 2 we can ping out our opponent. This will help close out games fast. So I absolutely love what he can do. On top of that, can give all of your creatures life wounding, which is hilarious if you actually go in for an aggro swing with him. In terms of other cards here, we have Ayara, First of Lochwain. Technically, you can consider her the first of the mono-black Queens of Sacrifice. You can sacrifice another black creature with her to draw a card, and anytime another black creature we control enters, we can just make our opponent lose 1 life, and we can gain 1 life. So she's kind of like the opposite of Arnyn, where Arnyn wants creatures to die and leave the battlefield. Ayara here wants creatures to enter the battlefield before she sacrifices them. So either way, it's great value overall. Other cards, in case if we do run into, some struggles here, we're going to throw in Damnation here to destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Although I guess maybe technically, well, I don't know. Maybe actually a Toxic Deluge might be better in the spot. Let me dig out that in a second. We'll finish this up real quick. Grave Pact here is also an incredibly powerful card for our deck. Anytime another creature we control dies, each player has to sacrifice a creature of their choice. So this can really, again, speed up the clock and hose our opponent if they go wide against us. And then finally, the other upgrades we're going to throw into will be, of course, the mana base. Since we're, again, just mono-colored, most of the upgrades here aren't necessary, but in case if you do want to spend a little extra, we have Cabal Stronghold, giving you extra black mana for each swamp we control. We have Castle Lockway, where you can lose life to draw cards. We'll throw in Hive of the Eye Tyrant. It isn't going to be a card that triggers off if it dies, but again, good graveyard hate overall. Midgard City of Mako here, either as a tap land for us, or you can use it as a sack ability to then draw some more cards. For more sacking instantly, you have Phyrexian Tower, sacrifice a creature to add more black mana. Takanuma allows you to mill cards and then bring back a creature or planeswalker back to your hand. We will throw in, for more value here, Fountain Port. So again, creates for us some treasures, makes for us blue fish tokens. You can sacrifice tokens to draw cards. Great for the deck. Mirex here allows us to create Phyrexian Mites. They are 1/1s. They have Toxic, but we don't care about the Toxic. We just care that they're 1/1s to sacrifice for value. Nykthos here can create for us a huge amount of black mana, equal to the number of black pips we have across all of our permanents. So good for us overall. And then finally, to make sure everything is a swamp, we'll throw in Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Turns every swamp, and your opponents, by the way, into swamps in addition to their other types. So this is perfect to make sure our mono black deck is consistent across the board with everything we have. But otherwise, that is the upgraded deck for you in a nutshell. I did forget that. Hold on. I realize now, probably Toxic Deluge would probably be the better Wrath for the deck. So instead of Damnation, not to say you can't throw in Damnation, good if you already have it, but if you don't have it, or if you want to spend, then just put in, I would say, Toxic Deluge, because that makes everything -X until end of turn. It also hoses indestructible creatures, and also will allow all of our creatures, even if they have like a high toughness or power, to then work perfectly with Arnyn if she's on the field. So I think we'll keep that instead. That sounds like a much better option for us. But okay. Let's go ahead. Let's now play the upgraded deck, and we'll show you how much more stronger she can truly be. Okay, catching up on the chat here. Affinity for anime. I pulled Lorehold the Historian, and I thought it would be cool to build a Boros Miracle deck. But then I started looking for cards to put in the deck, and I couldn't come up with anything. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I will try to see if we can put together a Lorehold Miracles deck. It is possible, Affinity for anime. Don't fret. There is a way you can build around it, but it has to be done in a very specific way. So it's definitely not an easy commander to build around, but it is doable. Well, we'll have to kind of talk about this in a bit. T. Wadesworth, holy Brawl, Batman. Hello, my fire friend. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us today. Chris Antogo, I think I'll build the budget of this one and add the upgrades I do have. That's cool. Go with whatever you can, my man. I mean, that's the entire point. And again, this is something I emphasize with everybody that watches these videos. The whole point is, again, to show you what you can do if you don't want to spend a lot, but if you like the idea and if you can afford it, why not upgrade it a little bit here and there when you can, if you want to commit to it fully. Trust me, I wish I could afford a Orcish Bowmasters in paper, but dang, it's just too expensive. I would love him in a lot of the decks that I do have in paper, but it's just too expensive. Maybe someday, though. But until then, we'll start with the Cult Conscript. Opponent's playing with Kuja. Oh, we played with the Kuja deck in Standard last year when Final Fantasy came out. I love the card, by the way. I don't know, maybe I'll build a deck around him someday. Like, at least an actual real commander deck. But until then, get the Field of Ruin. Let's see. We'll wait on the Orcish Bowmaster. I don't like that the Bowmaster did get a nerf. No thanks to Alchemy. I really wish they got rid of these nerfs. It really does change the dynamics of a lot of the cards we play. But in any case, let's see. Does our opponent play Kuja? Nope. Patchwork Banner. Okay, that's fine. But I guess they're naming Wizard? So it's a Rakdos Wizards deck? That's a cool idea. I've never thought about doing a Rakdos Wizards deck, but I like it. Maybe we'll try to do that at some point. GJ Chadsworth. Aw, Dumps Damnation, my favorite card. Yeah, I'm sorry. But honestly, because of how Arnyn works, we want to make sure our creatures can trigger off no matter what with her. So it is what it is. But don't worry. That's not to say the card is bad. It's a great card. I have like 2 copies that I cracked open from some packs. And man, they are really, really helpful in black decks that I have. Okay, Orcish Bowmaster's coming in. Okay, so from here... let's get an Arnyn now. Start swinging. Down to 20. Got him. Cool. Okay, here comes Kuja. Mox Amber. Okay. Well, it's got a lot of rocks to work with. Sign in Blood. Okay, they draw 2 cards. But that does ping off our plan. So thank you, opponents. I will take that extra value. Ooh, do they have an answer? Springling Shrub is out there. Opponents. Yep. Arnyn's ability does mean that we do get value from certain things, opponents. They're thinking carefully. Ooh, they bolt us. Ugh. Well, that stinks. Okay, that's fine. We still make our tokens, though, just the same. So it's not the worst. Okay, they start making wizards. Boggart Trawler. Okay, so from here, Cabal Stronghold. Let's see here. I think we'll just swing here for now. If our opponent has an answer, I'll take out Kuja. Okay, so from there, pass. Okay. Okay, land. They sack the Mind Stone, okay. That does mean we get to ping off a little bit there, so thanks again, opponents. We are closing the gap, so that's good. Orc army is growing. Solar Transformer, okay. That's fine. We go to 24. Okay. Chris Antoko was going to say Super Shredder could do good in the deck. Then I remembered you don't really use Universe Beyond cards. I mean, I don't have anything against like Universe Beyond cards. I think I'm more anti-alchemy than Universes Beyond. So I'm fine with Shredder. But the only awkward part about Shredder is you want him to get bigger and bigger. And in this deck with Arnyn here, you actually don't want your creatures to get too big because otherwise her ability will not trigger off. So I don't know. That's actually kind of why I'm fascinated with Arnyn because her ability is a very unique one among things here. Okay, Bitter Triumph. So we're going to pay the 3 life. Kuja's got to go bye-bye. Opponents. Nice. Okay, that's down. So, I mean, for example here, the Orc army, ironically, I actually don't want it to get too big because if it dies, Arnyn does not get any value off of that. All right, so for now, Arnyn coming back in. Opponent does have 1 card in hand, so I don't know what they have. If it's more removal, I can understand. If it's not removal. Wait, opponent, you don't have more removal, do you? Okay, down to 9. Oh, and Moonshadow. You got my deck building brain taken. Moonshadow also could be potentially good in the deck. But cards that you want are going to be stuff that focuses a lot more on the keeping your creatures low to get more ping value. But there's all kinds of different ways you can make it work. Ooh, Deadly Dispute. Okay. So, let's see here. Fire Nation Trebuchet. So we'll get some good value here. Here's how we're going to do this. Let's see. Swing with just the army. Opponents. We make a token. They block. I'm going to go full control for a second here because I want a Deadly Dispute off of that. Sacra value. Okay, drain him out. Nice. Draw cards. Nice, we got that. And let's see. I guess we'll get the Phyrexian Power. Actually, let's get out instead Cult Conscript back. Welcome back, Cult Conscript. We can get out Zulaport Cutthroat next turn. Okay. And then from here, that should be game next turn. Our opponent does have a lot of pingers. But they have 2 cards in hand. They can't possibly have that much removal. Or maybe they do. Alright, they got the cut down. But unfortunately, Arnyn, again, sadly does not trigger off on her own. It's okay, though. It's okay. Opponent swinging? They can swing if they want to. We'll just bring back Arnyn next turn. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if we get anything else. Okay. So we can close out the game. Ooh, Call the Death Whirler's not bad either. So let's see. How do we do this? How do we get the most value out of this? I think we're just going to just Arnyn. And then from there... we will sacrifice the Conscript. Small price to pay. They can't possibly have the last card as removal, right? Right? And then exile their stuff out of precaution. Okay, so they can't reuse anything. That's good. For here, Bowmasters will be our sacrificial lamb. But if this works, then we could close out the game here very quickly. Okay, opponents. You have one turn to stop us here. Can you stop this? Got him. That dies. That's 2. That's 1. And that should be game right there. Opponent, unless you have life gain right now, that is it. It's already going to be sacrificing. All right. Woo! Ooh, wow. Dark Ritual. Okay. I mean, I guess our opponent here is trying to... I don't know what they were trying to do there. I guess they just wanted a little bit of a petty hit there, but okay. Still, a win's a win. So, all right, all right. Nice. Almost scared me there for a second, though. I thought they were going to be like, oh, we got a last-minute move here. But okay. Nice. TJ Wadsworth here. Okay, I don't play Brawl, and this makes me want to play, so I'm going to do that. Happy to find the channel. Good luck, and yeah, it's only single I ever bought. I think I was $30 back then. Yeah, it was. But yeah, hopefully again my inspiration will get you to enjoy it. It's not a bad format. I do like it. I mean, it's not, of course, Commander, but I mean, if you do want to play Singleton, and again, it's not ranked, so if you're playing on Arena, at least you don't have to feel the pressure of trying to rank up. It's just fun for me. So that's the reason why I like this. If you're a person that enjoys my 60-card stuff, I mean, last week we did do some high-level stuff in the older formats, so check that out if you haven't already done so. We got some good value there. Let's see here. Okay, so, do I put the Priest of the Forgotten Gods down now? They're playing with Prismari the Inspiration, so, We're going to wait. I don't know what they have, but I will say also this for now. We are planning, of course, a Prismari deck, a Prismari Storm deck at some point. The tricky part is debating. Do I want to just try if we can try to force it in in Pioneer? Should we try it in Historic? Or should I try this? Or would it just be better to just do an actual Brawl deck? We'll have to think about this one. This is going to be a tricky one for me, but I do want to do this deck at some point. It's going to happen. Okay, otherwise, until then... Okay, Mygar. Let's see here. I don't know what our opponent's playing. So I think we're now Priest of Forgotten Gods. Okay. We're going to just leave that out there. I don't know if our opponent's going to have anything to remove it. I don't know if they're going to try to play something else, or they're just going to focus on the ramp until they get to this dragon. Okay, Chain Lightning. Okay. Free value there. Opponent, nothing else. Okay, Reno and Rude. Well, I guess we could play them. So we don't have any more lands for now, so we're going to just play this as tap land. Awkward, but that's okay. Better than nothing, I guess. Okay. Bloodstained Martyr gets sacked. So I'm guessing they're going to get out their Shockland. Yep. No surprise. Affinity for anime. If you're cool with proxies and you like Zelda, I can hook you up with an Orcish Bowmaster's proxy inspired by Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. That sounds fun. I'll think about that for a bit. I have been trying to reconsider some cards that I might want to do as like proxies. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one for a bit. Okay, they stink into Super Us, so we get reset for a bit. They strike it rich. Okay. So opponent is slowly trying to just... Well, actually, they are literally just trying to slow us down. That's all they want to do. Morbid Opportunist. So at this point, they need to get to 7. That's their magic number. There's no way for them to cheat it out, so they need to get 7 mana. They're at 5. And they can start doing storming off, which also scares me because Storm is, again, one of the most broken mechanics in the game. Okay. Opponents. What are you doing? They have the Chain Lightning. Okay. They add 1 point. They ping us for 1, but they also had 1 red mana. Okay. Not ideal, but okay. It's fine. Flare of Duplication. Wow. Okay. We draw a card off of that, so I guess that's better than nothing. Okay, so we lose 2 cards. Opponent is being very, very sneaky right here and tricky. So we lose both of our creatures. This is also the reason why I haven't brought in Arnyn yet, because I'm kind of wary as to what's going to happen here. But we will try to see what we can do to get around these shenanigans. Okay. Got a little bit of life gain and drain prepped. Our opponent is still struggling to get their lands out, so they still don't have Prismari going, which I guess helps us out a bit. Okay, nice. So from here, I guess now is our chance to actually do this. We will Annihilating Glare. Actually, hold on 1 second. Hold on. I have a better idea. Let's get in the free damage with Silver Smoke Ghoul, because there's no way they're going to block this. So there we go. Down to 20. Annihilating Glare while they're tapped out. Thank you, opponents. Okay, now we're set here. So that's 3 here, which also is the magic number. Aw, opponent! I was ready to go off there. Okay, well, hey. I'll take the win. What I was trying to get out right there for a second was, okay, so with the 1 point here and the 2 points here, Arnyn would have brought back for free the Silver Smoke Ghoul, as you saw right there, who's ready to come back for more value. But that's okay. It's okay. We still got our win, so I'll take it. I will. I'll take it. I will say, though, Infinity for Anime, if it's once, even though I'm not huge on Universes Beyond, if we're going to get them in the game, as long as they fit Magic, I'm usually happy with that. And if I had to pick at least one additional property I would love to see in Magic form, officially, I actually would like to see if they do a Legend of Zelda collaboration. I'm pretty sure Nintendo will never do it, but if they ever did it, I think that would be a perfect fit for Magic. The fantasy setting is just absolutely a beautiful mesh, and again, the cards are super awesome to build around. Or I would say, like, if you were to build the characters around the cards, they'd be really, really sweet. Oh, I can dream, though. I can dream. But on the other hand, you're right. The proxy community can make it much easier to kind of just put together something that just works already as is. No muss, no fuss. Maybe I'll do that at some point. I'll put together something that is that, and then if it works out, I will definitely reach out to you if I want to get maybe some unique proxies that I think would be kind of fun to have. Maybe making it like my own pseudo Legend of Zelda deck. Down the line. Okay, so for now, so what's nice about this hand is we got the Dark Ritual, but we also have 2 things we can get. I can either get out Veto, or I can get out Arnyn on turn 1. Our opponent is playing Tygam, so what do we want? Won't be able to do anything else for a turn. But Veto on turn 1 also sounds amazing. Zulaport Cutthroat on turn 2 also is good. This is a tricky one. We'll definitely keep the hand, but let's see. Do I want Arnyn on turn 1, or do I want Veto on turn 1? What should we play? So, I think the Dark Ritual first. Get our mana. Let's get out Veto first. This way, in case if they bounce back or counter Arnyn, at least I can kind of get that going later on. So turn 1 Veto's pretty nice. Sapphire Medallion. Okay, so they're cheapening their stuff too. Get the Fountain Port. We will play Zulaport Cutthroat. Start getting their damage down to 24. Okay. So far, so good. Tome of the Infinite. Okay. Bitter Triumph will be nice for later. We hurt ourselves. Ouch. Arnyn coming in. Opponents. Nice, so it does stick. So that means they technically can do alchemy shenanigans with their 1 island. don't think they're going to flash in anything, so we should be safe. Ooh, okay. All right, here come the alchemy shenanigans, everyone. But we'll see what comes out of it. If it's going to be something I'm going to hate, or at least it won't be anything big. Okay, Tygam coming in. Consult the star charts. Okay, so here comes the suspend ability. If you are curious, we actually did build a Tygam deck actually a year ago when Dragonstorm came out, so check that out if you haven't already done so. Also, it's a budget deck, by the way. It can be fun. We've got the Terminus. That's good, too. So, from here, the Terminus of Return. Opponent. No, okay, here comes the non-creature spells. All right. Okay. Fine. Gutter Bones instead. We will... What do we swing with here? Okay. I guess we can't really swing. They will suspend. At least we still have removal. So we can just get to another land. Think twice. Okay, they draw a card. Opponents. That is a beautiful medallion, by the way. I actually have the white one. What is that? Is it Pearl Medallion? I forget. But I did crack one. So it actually is good that I got the white one to make my white decks cheaper when I can put that into maybe like a mono white deck. There is a mono white deck that I actually have built here in Arena that I want to try out at some point. Okay. But ramblings aside, okay, swing with the Gutter Bones. Come on, let's get some free value. Okay, opponent did not take the bait, but that's okay. Affinity for Anima. Yeah, I've made a ton of Zelda proxies because it's such good. Easy thematic fit for Magic. It is. Oh, I would love to have some legit cards, but I'm sure the proxies look great. Maybe someday, though. But it can't be too impossible. I mean, I never thought we would actually get Sonic the Hedgehog official Magic cards. I actually do own those, so I'm really happy I got those ones. But I never thought we would actually get actual Sonic the Hedgehog in Magic. That was a shocker for me. I guess that leads me to a question I want to ask everyone. So, I know proxies make it pretty much where you have the ability to put anything you want on Magic cards. But for those of you out there, if you could pick one property, just one property, to bring it as a Universes Beyond set officially into Magic the Gathering, what property would you like to see as official Magic product? Legend of Zelda, or maybe something else like, I don't know. What else would I think? We already have Lord of the Rings. We already have Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. Diablo from Blizzard? Warcraft? That actually might fit pretty well. Okay. Opponent is getting their Magecraft on. They get their tokens. I need them to tap out to get Tygam off the field. So that's my only thing I'm trying to... Okay. You know what? We'll do it now. We'll pay the 3. Do you have protection for Tygam, opponents? I'm sure you have to have something. You're mono blue. But at least we're trying to force their hand. Oh, wow. Okay, we got it off the field. Nice. That's even better. Okay, Blood Chief's Thirst. So, Emeritus technically is still 4 mana. So, for a second here, I'm just going to swing. We haven't gotten any of our lands, by the way. Where's our lands at? Okay. Opponents? Nothing? Okay, so from here, I guess Vengeful Blood Witch comes in? Maybe? Opponents? Do you have an answer? It's a little what? Alright, I guess Vito won't get shenanigans to go off. At least not yet. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, it is Pearl Medallion? Okay, well that's good to know for the future. Okay, Tygam. Source of Plowshare. Aw. See, this is also why I don't like these cards like this. So, it does the stupid thing from alchemy cards. Our opponent should have no way of actually getting the removal in the form of a Swords to Plowshare. I mean, really? Come on. So dumb. Why does that exist? Sorry, I'm going to be salty about that, at least for a little bit. All right, in the meantime, Demon's Disciple. Okay. Opponents, do you have an answer for that? Maybe? Opponents? Opponents? I can see they're looking at our cards. Fading Hope. Okay. So draw more cards. They bounce back our Gutter Bones. Okay. Technically, they're... Okay, they're almost tapped out. Giant Growth. Huh. I guess they're just casting out just to cast it, which is dumb, but okay. Sacrifice the Demon's Disciple. They sacrifice Tygam. They really don't want that Archmage Eternus to die. But we're going to keep draining while we can. No attacks, of course. Affinity. Yeah, if I only get to pick one franchise for Universe Beyond, it's got to be Zelda. It's the only Universe Beyond that I ever considered getting a complete collection for. I totally would too. If they ever did it, that would be an amazing one. And I would not hesitate to buy a box. Like, if they're like, hey, we're going to do a 300 card set, regular box just like any other standard set, sold. Here's my card, take everything. I want that set. I'm sure I bet you like the full arts would be amazing. Okay, Tygam again. Opponent wants to keep Tygam in as much as possible. But again, we're just not getting our pieces here. Okay, Gutterbone's coming back. Opponent, do you have an answer now? Alright, well, we're going to have to try this here. Do they have an answer for the Emeritus? Miscalculation. Okay. That Emeritus alone is what's hosing us completely. Because all that suspend nonsense. And also we're just not getting our lands. That's actually what's hurting us more. I guess I should have try to force Tygam to get blown up first. Okay. Alright, opponents. Joy, they made another copy. Okay, it's okay. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. Gonna keep this going. Oh, finally we got another land. Okay, so from there, I guess we'll do it this way. Bloodchief's Thirst. Does our opponent have an answer still? Opponents? Cryptic Command. Okay, they're finally tapped out, so, okay. So we get rid of at least one copy. Maybe? Oh, please don't tell me they have a free spell. Okay, so that's gone. They draw cards off of that. Boo. Cryptic Command gets bounces back our things. We swing with Gutter Bones. Damage? Down to 14. Whew, okay. Archmage Securus actually comes in. Such an annoying deck. Obviously, I know when we played this, ours was a lot more fairer, but our opponent is definitely playing a not fair version. So they're going to keep going off here, and it's kind of being a little annoying. Alright, taking all the mana. Time Stream Navigate. Oh, they got... Ugh. They got Time Stream Navigator for more stuff here. Alright, Errant. They copy it. Okay. Look at all this right here. This is just ridiculous, by the way. And then Echo Casting Symposium allows them to keep doing their thing. So if you didn't see that earlier, they start making tokens forever, basically. And we can't stop it. Okay, Blood Artist. I'm just going to play Veto. Okay. I can't do this anymore, everyone. I just cannot stand there and deal with this nonsense of value for days. Also, just because it's not fun. So I'm just going to take my L, you win, opponents, and just move on. I'm just going to move on from there. Okay, let's actually get into a more fun match. Let's see. We got a little bit more time left in the stream, but again, I do want to remind you guys again, for those of you that are watching, or if you're watching on the replay, even if you haven't already done so, show some love if you already haven't. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay. booster pack openings, deck techs, live streams, and so much more. Every week, we will, of course, put up our usual deck techs, or we do a little commentary video here and there. We do, of course, at least 2 live streams a week, and we'll throw in, of course, some shorts here that highlight those live streams in case you miss anything, you want to see the most exciting parts of our live streams, or again, we'll do some booster pack openings when we can to hopefully get some value from what we purchase. If you want to support me beyond anything like that, we do have, of course, a Patreon, or you can just be one of our paid members on YouTube there, where again we get some exclusive stuff that we post up there that actually doesn't get posted to the regular channel. So again, anything that's like non-Match of the Gathering related, special bonus gameplay footage, and really cool stuff that sometimes doesn't get a chance to get posted will be exclusive for those that do want to be willing to spend a little bit of money to help me out a little bit month to month. And even if you don't want to, if you want to do anything for free, just simply join the Discord. Your support will help keep this channel going. And all links, of course, as a reminder, will be located in the details below at the end of the stream. So thanks again for everyone that has been with me today. I appreciate all of you. Let's see. Going back to the game here. A little bit of a clunky hand here. I feel like we're not going to be able to get much going here. What are they playing, though? The Mind Skinner. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to get milled out, aren't we? But that's going to be an interesting one. Can't be blocked. But they will mill us like crazy, though. So we'll see how this goes. Play the cat. Meow, meow. We'll see. We'll see if things goes. Fantasy for anime. If I had to pick a second franchise for University on, I'd have to pick up some fantasy animes. Free Ren, ReZero, Mushishi. Actually, Free Ren would actually be a good one. One, actually, personally, I'm actually a fan of Black Clover. I know, thankfully, that's going to be coming back soon, so I look forward to seeing Black Clover come back, but actually, that would be cool, too. Now that also we've got in Magic retroactively added in, constructs that are also books now are a thing. So what I would love to see from that is, I would like to see if we're gonna do like, say, like if we ever did a Black Clover set, their Magic is focused on grimoires. So I would love to see a lot of book artifacts that actually could make like a fun book deck, if that could be a thing in the future. That I think would be an amazing thing. All right, so for now, Arnyn coming in, swing with our cat. Of course they block. Life Gain and Drain begins. All right, nice. A Curse Marauder can come in as well, so this will be nice. And we do, of course, have a Bone Shard, so that's ready to go too. Opponent, you bring it in Mind Skinner. Is this the Mind Skinner turn? Okay, thanks to Tulich. All right, so they're going to try to start getting their card draw going. They turn off Arnyn for a turn. Annoying, but not the worst. So here's how we do this. Feed the Swarm first off. Oh, actually, hold on one second. Realize we can do this another way. Okay, so we'll discard a card. Beastbinder goes away. Bloodghast goes bye-bye for now. We'll get that back with Landfall. No big deal there. And feed the Swarm. Takes care of the Faces Tulich. Okay, nice. Down to 19. Turn on Arnyn a Bin. So with a Cursed Marauder, if they bring in the Mind Skinner, we can actually blow that away. Okay, here comes Mind Skinner. Okay, Swamp. So, there we go. So we got back Bloodghast, nice. Curse Marauder. We will sacrifice the Bloodghast again. All right, there we go. Now we're getting our value here. Life Gain and Drain. Nice. Down to 15 opponents. Okay, not too bad. Yes, I would love a Zelda Universe Beyond. Shut up and take my rupee, you say? Don't you mean... Wait. Let me see if I can do my best Zelda impression right now. Yeah! 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 How was that? Was that good? Was that good? I don't know. I will say, though, actually... put this back to hand. Oh, man. I've realized I haven't finished the other Zelda game I've been playing. I really got to get back to my Zelda when I can on my off time. Or maybe in the future, if I can get my setup again, maybe we can actually do like a Zelda stream. It's been a little while since I've actually played like one of the other games. And I have been meaning to finish up a couple of them. But maybe I would do it as a retro. Because I also love playing my favorite one. I love Link's Awakening. That's my favorite one. I can play that one forever. And it was technically my first one, so maybe that's why I have an affinity for it. Okay, consult the star charts. Okay, opponent is digging for stuff here, and they have been fumbling with their lands, so maybe this might be our game to capture a free win here. Okay, they got another island, though, so okay, that's fine. That works. Okay, ooh, Creeping Bloodsucker. That's good, too. Okay, opponents. Counterspells. Answers. Nothing. Okay, I'll take it. So, tempting to swing with Arnyn, but I want to play it safe for now. So, in case our opponent has anything to flash in. But I think getting rid of that Sphinx's Tutelage was a huge momentum swing in our favor. Opponent is now down to 9, and Bloodghast now has haste. We have Consuming Corruption still if they try to bring in anything, so we have a shot here. Mindskinner coming back in? No? Okay. We'll take it. Taking our opponent down to 8. We're at 27. Volatile Faults. I guess we'll just play Phantom Train now. Opponent, do you have an answer? Nope. Choo Choo Train is ready to go. Nice and easy. Don't want to take any risks here. I want to make sure we can just keep doing our thing. Down to 4. Opponent, any answers? If they have no answers, we can start sacrificing immediately with Phantom Train, but I want to see if they have anything that could stop us. Do you have an answer, opponents? Or is this going to be another easy win for us? Nope, maybe? Okay, so we're going to just force them at this point. If they have anything, now's your shot, opponent. You have to have something. If not, we will win here and now. Down to 3. Ooh, 9 Lives Familiar. That's cute. Meow meow. This actually works perfectly for us because, watch, we'll see. Big swing, opponents. Nothing? You gotta have something. There it is. There's the Aetherize. Okay, so, sorry, opponents. Instant speed. 9 Lives Familiar alone gets us the win. Drain him out. And the 9 Lives Familiar comes back immediately. Kitty cat time. Yes! Got you, opponent. Got him. We did it. We did it. Oh, that was a nice one, though. I knew they had something in hand, but I just wanted to force it before we actually did an aggressive swing. So, okay. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely love to see it. Okay. Cool. So, looking at the clock right now, I think we have time for maybe like 1 or 2 more games. You know what? Let's shoot for 2 more games. 2 more, and then we'll be doing our wrap-up. And again, our final send-off for the day, everybody. But don't worry, we are planning another stream. Hopefully, I'm looking at possibly Saturday is going to be our next day. That'll be our next chance to have some fun. Okay, ooh. Pride of the Hulklade. Okay. Playing against some Simic shenanigans here. Let's see. We don't have anything to play on turn 1, but that's okay. It's not a huge deal. Fail to Profane. We have a Dark Confidant, so that does help us with card draw. So I think that might be our first thing better. Affinity for Anime. Link's Awakening was also my first Zelda game. Cute! That's cool. It's not my favorite. My favorite is Majora's Mask, but Link's Awakening is highly ranked of mine. Top 5 Zelda for me. That's cool. I respect that. I will say, for me, it was definitely, for me as a young kid, when I played it on my old Game Boy, yeah, I'm very old, when I played the OG game, it blew my mind to find out the twist in Zelda, of course, with it. Wait, is it spoilers if I say it now? I mean, is it... Are we far gone enough where I can just make the spoiler? You know what? I'm screwed. I'm just going to say it. And of course, the twist with Link's Awakening is, you know, it's all a dream world. So for me, as a kid back then, that blew my mind. I was like, wow. Everything I did was just a dream sequence. But you kind of felt, for me, I felt that nice little emotional tie to the game near the end. Just because, again, of how it ended. It was a cute little ending. I love it. But I will always cherish that as my favorite Zelda game. Okay. So let's see here. What do we want to do? I think we'll play Silver Smoke Ghoul. If it gets countered, that's fine. We can bring it back later on. So I don't worry about that. We're at 21, though, so we took a hit for Grave Pact. Opponents, do you have an answer? They do. They have a refute. Okay, that's annoying, but that's okay. Better that than Arnyn. You have to discard a card. Okay. Down to 23. Okay, hopefully we can draw into lands with Dark Confidant so we won't have to take too much damage. Okay, Majora's Mask. Did you... So when you say Majora's Mask, are you talking about like the OG Nintendo 64 one? Or did you also like the remake? Or they kind of did a couple more tweaks to it? I actually have the remake on my 3DS, but I actually never finished it. I just could not get the time to do it. Ooh, okay, so we took some more damage there. Oof, that was a painful hit though. Let's see. Roll the Profane, so we're down to a lot here. Put in Grave Pack now. So if our creatures start dying, Grave Pack will hopefully provide us a little bit of support. Okay. Cult Conscript probably next turn into Arnyn. Okay. That actually might be nice. Academy Wall, that's cute. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may draw a card. If you do, you discard a card. You can only do it once a turn, though. Interesting. So, if we have to sacrifice here, I don't know if our opponent... Okay, opponent is going to do it. I mean, we've taken some hits here. Arcane Signet. So if our opponent swings, we will use Grave Pact here. Take your poison. Oh, dang it. Wow. They had the right card to stop our plan. Aw. I was hoping we were going to be able to sponge a hit here, but I guess we can't. Okay, so they swing here. Not going to block instead. We go to 9. Okay, no life loss there. That's good. Vault of Whispers. We will... Arnyn. Coming in. We will Nowhere Run. Bulwark goes bye-bye. Okay, nice. So at least that buys us time. Okay. Is the whole clave coming in yet? Does that giant elk, turtle, crocodile abomination come in now? Which I will say, we did also build a deck around Pride of the Hull Clave too. It was actually a really unique one too. So if you are into... Wait, don't take me out of context here, everyone. If you're into butt stuff, pause. Check out that video too. We do have, again, a budget 60-card deck around that. That was actually pretty fun. Okay. Otherwise, let's see here. What do we want to do? Because Dark Confidant's actually kind of hurting us quite a bit here. Okay, I think I got an idea. Reaper's Talisman. Add the Reaper's Talisman to the Dark Confidant. We can Zulaport Cutthroat. Okay. We swing with Dark Confidant. Life gain and drain. No attacks opponents. No blocks. Okay. We'll take it. His ability is... Okay, so it's 4 mana. But it's only for one creature. Not going to be for the whole clave. So, in that case... We have options here. Kendrick Transformation. Joy. Alright, so they turn off our Arnyn for now. We still have life gain and drain shenanigans still, so that's not a horrible thing for us. And even if they swing, Arnyn just dies here. So we were planning on sacrificing her anyway, so that's not horrible. Put her back to the command zone. Drain out our opponent still. Land of War Elves, okay. Okay, nice, we got a land, so no damage there. That's good for now. Arnyn coming in, back one more time. We will... Okay, we can eat some stuff here. So with that... Creature card, so eat the Bulwark so it doesn't come back at all. Gain some life off of that. Swing once again with the Dark Confidant. Make sure we gain our life back. Down to 14 opponent, we're at 16. Ooh, our opponent does block, okay. That's actually not horrible for us. We have a full hand, so... We can just keep up with everything. Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back. Thank you. Okay. We're still, I think, in good control of this match. We just need maybe a little bit more value, and I think we should be solid. Ooh, enter the Enigma. Ooh. That's not good. Opponent's about to refuel here bigly. Affinity. I like both versions of Majora's Mask. Most people will say the original N64 is better, but I think the 3DS Majora quality of life changes mostly makes sense. I'm biased, though. It's my favorite Zelda. That's fair. Okay, opponent. Swinging? Okay, so... They go to 6, hit us for 16. They draw a ton of cards. Yee! Okay, It's okay, everyone. We're not down. I kind of wish we could pay enough life for the Toxic Deluge, but we don't have enough. We would need a stupid amount of stuff. Okay. Alright. Unblockable nonsense aside. Okay, they throw away a ton of stuff there. Okay. Oh, nice. We got a Bone Shards. So from here, we can... Bone Shards. Discard... Cult Conscript. Okay. Opponent, do you have an answer? 3 mana open means they do have counterspell mana. But is that enough? Opponents? What do they have? Pride? Is it dying? Maybe? Okay, they do have 3 steps ahead. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, that's fine though. So with that, they draw another card, discard a card. Okay. Cool. So with that, we will add on to Silver Smoke Ghoul the ability to swing here. More life gain and drain shenanigans. Opponent. Do they block? If they want to, they can block. Ooh, they do block. Okay, that's cute. Okay, that goes bye-bye. I'll take it. We will Deadly Dispute, though. Silver Smoke Ghoul. Drain him out. Nice. And then finally from that... Let's see, how do we do this here? Do we want Reno and Rude now? Or do we want... You know what? Get the Cult Conscript. Let's get that back first. Bogger Trawler tapped. And the Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back. Okay, phew. Okay. Down to 6 opponents. Okay, we're close. We're so close. Oh, I realize also we're running out of time now. Ugh. Well, considering how long this is taking, maybe this might be our final match now. I don't mean to cut it short, everyone, but I'm looking at the clock right now, and I do need to get ready for something else I got to take care of. So for that, maybe this might be our final one. Let's see. Well, depending on how long this takes, this will be probably our final match, everyone. But can we hang in there just a little bit longer? We are within range. Okay, ooh, nice calling. Calling of the week. So, let's see. All right. Add the Reaper's Talisman back onto the Ghoul. So this is going to be the final one here. This should be the final swing, everyone. Silver Smoke Ghoul. Life gain and drain. Down to 4. Opponent. Do you have an answer? You have to block. All right. I will take it. Riptide Turtle goes bye-bye. We will Culling the Weak. Silver Smoke Ghoul goes bye-bye. Life gain and drain. Opponents. Do you have an answer? Counterspell. Oh dear. What did they hit? Okay, Elvish Mystic. Wow, they counterspelled us. We still get, of course, the pings on the stack, so that's not the problem. 2, 1, and Phantom Train. Does that stick? No! They actually got off another counterspell? Oh, jeez. Wow. Talk about lucky there, opponents. So they hold on by 1. Literally 1 life. But they have 1 turn to stop us. Do they have enough to stop us? 4 cards in hand, opponents. Is there anything you have in hand to stop us at this point? Ooh. Still could be anybody's game if they have anything sneaky up their hand. But the clock is ticking. Can they get it to go off? Ooh. Find out right here. Right to the Hulklade. Unblockable swing. Okay, all creatures swinging. So that means... Ugh, that's a lot coming at us right now. But they don't have that much mana open, though. So that's a lot of cards they draw. But now they need something to bounce back everything. If they don't have a way to bounce back anything, then we are in a good position to hopefully win, but it all depends on this turn right here. Finity, I do wish Majora's Mask 3D would come out on Switch and Switch 2 or something, because the 3DS version has fishing, but fishing in Majora on 3DS hurts my hand with controls. Oh, yeah, I didn't even bother with that. The moment I gave it like 5 minutes, I was like, I can't do this. It's not fun. So maybe, hopefully, we'll get another remake. I know people won't. There was that rumor going around that there was another Ocarina of Time remake, which again, great game. I love it, but I think it's been remade a little bit too much. I would say give that game a pass for another generation before maybe we remake it again. I would love for us to see some more remakes of some of the other things. So maybe we'll see. See what they do. Okay, so from here, Reaper's Talisman. Is this it? Did we get the win here? Ooh, time stop? Oh, wow. Okay, so Cling to Dust. What do we grab instead here? Oh, dear. Okay. Honestly, at this point, I don't think we have anything that can really help us, but I'll take the Enter the Enigma. We will... Wow, our opponent is not giving up here. Drawing a card off of that. Okay, we didn't get anything. Dang, that's annoying, though. So does that mean we may not win? Wow, they found a way to just end the turn. Oof. Not too often we get hit with those spells, but dang, that stinks. So that means this turn is over and they get it back to them. Okay, well, opponent is still hanging in there. Not by much, but they are trying. Wizard Glass. I know we can hit the Silver Smoke Ghoul instant speed, so that's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is if they have anything else in hand that could start our plan. Level 2. Okay. They draw 2 more cards. Okay. Opponent's gone through pretty much almost their whole deck at this point. If they could tap out a little bit more, maybe we have a spot here. I just need to make sure that they don't have anything that counter triggers. That's the only other thing that's going to stop us from getting a win here. Yes, I know the Silver Smoke Ghoul can be done, but I need to make sure that... Okay, I think they have enough tapped out where maybe I can get the Silver Smoke Ghoul to go off. Okay, there we go. Ghoul. Sacrificed. That triggers. Is that it? Yes! Woo! Okay, we got there, we got there. Okay, there we go, everyone. Nice. Yes, I know some of you might point out you could have done that a turn earlier, but they technically still had some mana open. I wanted to make sure they tapped out completely so that way they didn't have any other counter spells or any counter trigger ability. So, whew, we got there, everyone. Nice little sneaky win there. Okay, we'll take it. We take that. Okay, nice. All right. So, looks like that's going to be it for now, everyone. So, I look at the clock and again, I apologize. Technically, I was supposed to do one more game, but I think we'll end it there, everyone. So, let's now cover the deck as a whole. Let's talk about this overall. Arnyn's Aristocrats here, everyone. What do you think of the deck? Do you like the deck? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? And again, don't want to be biased, but I love the deck. It's fun. It's really easy to play. Arnyn herself feels pretty good in the sense that she's not overly powerful, but she can definitely get some good stuff going on, even on a budget. So we didn't get a chance to do some of the other crazier things like the Sir Conrad shenanigans. We didn't do a massive swing with Grey Merchant, but those are options for the deck. Actually, I will say, though, one card that I was surprised about was Reaper's Talisman definitely put in work. I was actually happy that we put this little equipment in. Some people forget about this one, but it actually goes really well in our deck, so I'm happy with how that turned out. Also, all the all-stars for today. What is that? Silver Smoke Ghoul. What an all-star for the deck. This, plus, say, Arnyn, and even one other pinger. Man, that's just like free value there. So I love how that actually worked out in our favor. So I'm really satisfied how that turned out. Overall, deck still felt pretty good. Getting those turn 1, hilariously enough, Dark Rituals off, well, also felt really, really good for the deck. So I loved how that was, and that really sped up, again, the clock against some of the most annoying of decks out there. We were able to beat out a Heibai before it got to go off. We didn't get a chance to beat out the Azika deck, but that's okay. I mean, that deck's just really tough to deal with. But still, I'm happy with the deck overall, and I'm very satisfied with it. I would highly recommend this if you're a fan of mono black, sacrificing for value, all shenanigans like that. Life Gain and Drain for fun, everyone. Definitely would recommend it. And of course, if you can't afford it, again, this is not the all end-all be-all version of it, but this is a great upgrade path if you want to try this deck again and you want to focus on this kind of a game plan. It is great. It is satisfying. And you actually have some really cool interactions that you saw today. So definitely, if you want to play mono black, like Sacrifice, Life Gain and Drain, I would highly recommend it. Arnyn is great. Yes, you can already play Sephiroth, but Arnyn on her own actually speeds up the clock. And honestly, if we had instead Sephiroth, you could argue that maybe Sephiroth in some matchups would be better as the commander, but the matchups we were focusing on today, we really wanted to just focus on Life Gain and Drain completely. And I think that's actually the big difference. If we had Sephiroth instead of Arnyn, maybe there might have been a couple games we probably wouldn't have won. So I would say I credit this card for what it's trying to do. So definitely consider that. You could put Sephiroth in 99, that's great, but be aware that both of them do similar things, but you have to tweak your deck in a way that actually does things slightly differently. Just an FYI if you actually want to reconsider who you want to lead the deck. But overall, both are great. Highly recommended. Now, before we end today's stream, of course, I want to talk about again for my true fire friends who have stayed around this far into the video. Here's a sneak peek as to what we're going to be doing, everyone. So we have a Witherbloom food deck that we're going to be building, and pretty much I'm going to be trying to wrap up the rest of the recordings today once I have a little bit of time. So this is going to be our next budget deck that we're hopefully going to get out maybe Saturday morning or Sunday morning. Ideally, I would like to get this out for Friday, but it may not make it in time for Friday, but we'll try. Otherwise, we also have a couple other decks that we're going to be going with. We have a Game On. So this is going to be our Boros, or I should say Lorehold deck that we're going to be building. It's going to be around Aziza here, Mage Tower Captain. So we're still tweaking the deck just a little bit here and there, but I think it's pretty much done and good to go. So we want to start copying spells with her, making a ton of tokens and going super crazy and super wide with it. So that one should be a fun one. We have a pest control deck that also I'm going to be doing on stream also as well soon. So this is going to be our Witherbloom live stream deck. So we're using Black Loafing Pest. I love this cute little guy though. So Pests is going to be the name of the game for that deck. So we'll see how that goes. We don't have anything else built currently right now. I'm still playing with around with like a mono white horse deck. This one's again mostly going to be in between once we near out the end of Strixhaven, but just before we get to Marvel. So that'll be something we might play around with in the future. Do not worry, I will try to do at least one deck in each of the school colors. So once we get through Witherbloom, we'll have also a Lorehold 60 card deck along with the commander one that we have here. We'll definitely, of course, do Quandrix. We will, of course, do the other ones, Prismari and Silverquill. All of those will get their chance to shine at some point in the next couple of weeks throughout the course of May. So stick around for that, everyone. They will be coming soon. Otherwise, my only final things I want to say for today is thanks again one more time to everyone who was watching. So shout outs to everyone who has been with me today. So I'm going to check out all of you guys that were in the chats, of course. So thanks again for those that were chatting with me today. So MTG Hillbilly, thanks again for popping in. I know you're on your live stream right now, but thanks again. Appreciate that. Death by Vulture, thanks again for popping in for a bit. Chris Antogo, also appreciate you being here. Affinity for Anime, love you as well. Noobishly Foolish, thanks again for popping in also for just a little bit there. And TJ Wadsworth, so sorry. Butchered that, by the way. Thanks again also for popping in. Hopefully, again, you'll have some fun if you want to play some Brawl, so check that out. I would definitely say you won't be disappointed if you played the format. And everyone else that's been watching across all of my other socials, whether you're watching on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, X, or even like, what is it? I think I have a kick stream still going on right now. But in any case, wherever you're watching me, I'm glad you are, everyone. Again, replay will be available across all socials, so wherever you prefer to watch me, it will be there for you guys. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today, everyone. I'm going to be heading out now because I got to take care of now some other things. But have a wonderful day. I appreciate all of you that were here with me today, and we'll get a chance to do this again over the weekend. But until then, one final thing that I do want to leave you with before we end today. As always, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again on the weekend, everyone. Later.